You're looking live at the Super Rink in Blaine, Minnesota for tonight's Junior Gold B hockey matchup featuring the visitors, the CCHA in purple Stormhawks wearing their road blacks, taking on the home team, playing not in their home city, but the home team nonetheless, the Rogers Royals. On paper, this is a blowout, and holy cow, Rogers has nobody on this team anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 skaters. Oh boy, this could be ugly. And on paper, it already is ugly. Rogers has an 0-21-0 record in league play alone. Stormhawks with a 19-7-1 overall record and a 15-5-1 league record. These two teams met back on December 7th, CCHA with a 7-0 win. Rogers is last in every category in this division except for penalty minutes, and they're 11th in penalty minutes. The most notable stats are in 21 league games, Rogers has scored 19 goals, and they've allowed 172 for a goal differential of minus 153. The next worst goal differential in the league is minus 52. So 101 goal difference between the 15th place team and the 14th place team, which I believe is Woodbury Royal. On the other hand, Stormhawks are 5th in the league in goals for and 4th in goals against. They've got a plus 46 goals differential. Stormhawks entering this game in 5th place, probably their lowest spot of the season. They're just 1 point out of 4th, which is held by Buffalo, but Buffalo has played 2 more games. So barring a catastrophe tonight, the Stormhawks should get at minimum 2 points, and with the fair play point, 3 points, so they would go to 53 points and vault into 3rd, which would be 1 point ahead of Edina White, who's only played 19 games. The teams play 24 league games. Moorhead, already done, has 61 points, and they're trailed right now by Elk River, who has 21, has 56, but still has 3 games to play. So they still have 9 available points to them. Meanwhile, Edina White still has only played 19 games. They still have 5 games to play. They have 52 points. So 15 points available for the Hornets to overtake both Moorhead and Elk River. And it's probably a good chance that happens, as their point percentage this year is .912, best in the league. Stormhawks full roster tonight. The only player out is standing behind the bench. That's Dawson Perry. He's out with a shoulder injury. He's got a sling on his shoulder. He has promised to be back for senior night on Thursday back at the Victoria Rec Center against current number 2 Elk River. Stormhawks are 2-3 in their last 5, so this is a get-right game. They have wins against Lakeville Black and Sartell, and then losses to Buffalo, Elk River Black, and then just on Sunday, a 3-1 loss to Orono. So I thought I counted 9 skaters. Now I'm only counting 8 skaters. So Rogers they have 2 forwards and 1 defense subs. Oh boy. Stormhawks starting with their 4th line. They went with Severson, Jacqueline, and Long as forwards, along with Lund. And I believe that's Biller. Now Severson down the right side into the zone. Loses it off his stick, comes right to Long. Long up to Biller. Biller mishandles it and pushed ahead by the Royals. Tipped away by Lund. Picked up by Severson. He has it taken away. And they battle for it in the neutral ice. Lund gets a stick up high. No penalty called. And gathered by Biller. Mishandled there by Lund, forced out by Severson. Chasing is Jacqueline, but Rogers with control. Stormhawks get a change. It'll be their 1A or 1B line out. Who's to say what their lines are today? So here's Lund. Through neutralize, into the zone, into the slot. Shot, save. So your second line, at least second line off the bench, is Hubbard at left, Olsen at center, and McPhillips at right. Defensive pair, Luke Britz and Cam Robinson. Face-off won by Olsen to Britz. He's pressured, gives across to Robinson. Long shot, going wide off the end. Well, Hubbard tries to throw it in front. That's off a stick. Britz jumping up, and penalty coming against Britz. He got his stick. First got the stick to the puck and then into the skates, and he'll take a tripping call. So first power play of the game coming for Rogers, just a minute 19 into the contest. Forgot to mention your starting goalie, Charlie Thomas, owns a 9-3-1 record with a 2.15 goals against and a 923 save percentage. Two Stormhawk goalies with almost identical stats on the season. Hubbard around the wall. First is McPhillips. McPhillips stops and flips it out. Flips it right to Olsen. Olsen skates in, tries to get around defenseman. Stick checked away. Now he battles in the corner. Battling on the half wall. Olsen against a trio of Royals, and it's the Royals that come out with it. Into the Stormhawk territory. First time with possession are the Royals. Behind Thomas. Bothered by Hubbard. Nice defense by Hubbard. And the puck is slid out. Rogers regrouping in their own zone. Pass up the far side. Kicked down by Olsen, who then dumps it into Rogers territory. I really think Rogers should have thought about putting their goalie in skating gear, as they only have 3 subs on the bench. Here's Annis coming out with it. Shot, sharp angle, save. There is one Rogers player lurking outside the boards. Annis up to Nelson, and he backhands it in. And the Stormhawks are up 1-0. Shorthanded goal by Bear Nelson. Single assist to Will Annis. Nelson gets his 11th of the season off a nice feed from Will Annis, who gloved down a clearing attempt by the Royals and fed it to Bear Nelson, who stick handles around the goalie and backhands in the open net. First of likely to be many. There's Popa, gives to Annis. Annis 1-on-2. Shot, save, and the rebound drops to the ice. The goaltender drops to the ice. Rogers has allowed, let's see here, I believe in their last 5 games they've allowed 52 goals. And they've scored 3. There's a chance in front by Annis that I totally missed. Now dumped out off a stick, goes to Reinhart. Reinhart past the head of the linesman and then past Nelson into Rogers territory. 14 seconds left to go on the Britz penalty. Now a turnover will slide to Nelson in his own zone. Nelson steps through a check, or avoided a check, and then threw one of his own that was kind of unnecessary, because if he just skates up, he might get on the puck. Back to 5-on-5. Shot comes in and gloved down by Thomas as Popa throws his weight around after the shot was taken. First action for Popa, I believe, in a couple games. He was out a couple games. Otto Reinhart returning from an illness. Desi McPhillips returning from, I believe, a trip to Florida. Face-off won by the Royals. D-to-D pass skips out. Picking up is Lund. Tries to kick it ahead. He fans on that. Lund to Tyler. Tyler is going to have to regroup as he didn't field the pass real clean. Now across to Biller. Biller Gets his head up, but a little late. He had several Stormhawks going across the ice a little earlier there. He was a little late in recognizing. Now Biller in his own zone. He's going to just headman across the red line. Into the zone. Biller all the way in. Shut right on. Rebound gathered by the goalie. Biller looking for his first goal of the season, and what this is the opponent to do it against. So there is a Royals player outside the rink with his helmet off, so maybe he's got a helmet problem. Here's Tyler picking up a loose puck, try to feed it in front and loses it. Now into the corner. Tyler still with it, gives to Kurt. Kurt, his shot right on. Bounces into the corner. Gets past O'Connell. Lund will think better about coming up for it. Lund tried to glove it down. Here's an outlet pass. Here comes Rogers on the attack. Good stick by Biller. Shot gets on and then gathered up by Thomas. First good scoring chance of the game for Rogers. Lund was feel like he was, couldn't make a decision if he wanted to pinch there, so he just kind of stayed there and let a Rogers player slip by him. Pass long, trying to chase down, can't reach it quite. It's Rogers with control. Around the wall, be picked up by Severson. He'll dump it into Brits. Stormhawks need to recognize they have a defenseman playing forward right now. Pass too long. Nice little move to get some space. Cuts across. Now it's knocked away, and the Royals will feed it down. Icing will be waived. Robinson with it. Gives to Severson. He's got a lot of ice to take. He will take it, then give to Long. To the left circle. Down low. Throw it in front to Severson. He can't get a stick on it. Robinson jumps up, and Royals wins that. The Royals win that battle. Chase in. Another potential break. Ooh, could have been an interference or a boarding call. Nothing gets called there. Brits went in a little hard there. The Royals player threw a check before he got to the puck. Now Brits, number 15, has been physical for the Royals. See if he can keep up that energy for the rest of this game with only 3 teammates on the bench. Turned over to Robinson. Robinson around the wall for Long. Long through the middle of the ice. Gets by McPhillips. He'll have to chase into Rogers territory. Now a turnover to Hubbard jumping up. As it hop out the stick. Now comes to Olsen. Olsen waits across to Reinhardt. Reinhardt. Bottom of the circle. Shot right on. Rebound. Trying to go from behind the net. And it bounces off the back of the net. Now Popa jumping up. Fanned on it. Went for the check and was a 50-50 play there, but the puck slides out. Turned over by Olsen to the Royals. Now Reinhardt off the side of the net. Popa flying in and clearing the front of the zone, or in front of the net. As he mid. And Thomas jumps on the puck. And we got a neck guard violation warning by Jack Popa. I don't see him going to the locker room or anything, so I'm not sure what we're doing there. Face-off won by the Royals, up to McPhillips. He'll give it across to Hubbard, overskates, bounces to Lund. Lund cuts across. Lund cuts again. Throws it in front. That's off a skate for Hubbard. And the puck comes loose, and the referee didn't see it. Get a whistle, and it's 8:08 to go in the first. 1-0 Chaska Chanhassen leads.
Hockey gloves.
Like extra ones? Oh, is that what he's missing? I don't think Kieran does. My stuff's not here. Extra gloves. So the player who is waiting outside to get in the game for Rogers is without a set of hockey gloves. And if I had my bag here, he could use mine, but no such luck. Probably doesn't have his stuff. Olsen with the puck in his own zone. Protects. Tried to leave it for Lund. The Stormers got to be careful not to have too many men. They didn't jump on the ice while that puck was coming across, so a good smart play. Now pass across to Nelson. Nelson skating in to the right circle. Cutting across. Nelson in front! And Annis fans on her. Didn't get a stick on it. Now Kurt shot right on. Looking for a tip or a rebound. Kurt in the corner. Kicks it to Annis. Annis comes out. Backhand shot. May have got on net. Now a pass or a shot by Nelson right in front. Comes out to Robinson. Robinson, long shot. Tipped wide. Puck left down behind by Kurt. Now pass in front to Kurt. It's shot right on. Rebound by Nelson, and it slides out on a quick whistle once again. 6:29 to go in the first. Stormhawks lead 1-0. Kurt out there with Annis and Nelson. Annis leaves for Kurt in front, and he tried to feed it to Nelson, and it gets by. Nelson, whoa, taking out there is Britz, and Nelson jumping up. He's going to take a penalty. He's only going to take the Royals. He's not going to take Nelson, it looks like. I thought for sure he would take Bear Nelson, or he did. Bear Nelson jumps in the penalty box saying, I took a penalty. Referee says no. So just the penalty against Rogers. It was a penalty against Nelson, and the referee did not call it. Nelson saying, I was naughty. Referee says, I'll let it go this time. Wow. So power play for the Stormhawks. They have a shorthanded goal. First power play. Severson to Tyler. Tyler through the middle of the ice. Tyler right in. He didn't get shot. Got taken away. Now Britt. The circle. Long shot. Tipped in front. Severson tips the shot by Britz. Now Tyler with it. Up the wall to Britz. Britz kind of handcuffed. Throws it in front. Severson battling. Now Britz will try to hold the zone. He does. Gives to Tyler. Tyler will circle the zone. Or circle the top of the circle is what I'm trying to say. His shot goes wide. I think he was looking for a redirect there by Severson. Rogers turns it over to Robinson. Robinson shot right on. Goaltender had to kind of hustle to the post there. He was not in position. Robinson fans on it, allowing Rogers to go on the break. Short-handed, but a good back check by Britz. Now Robinson pushes it ahead to Britz. Kicks it up to O'Connell. Gets by O'Connell. Dumped in by the Royals. Free out by Britz. And number 15 shaking his head. He must have got hammered there. I heard something. Britz shot right on. Rebound! And he missed the open net. Out of the far side. 15. He's hitting everything that moves right now. Tyler with it. Tyler, his shot. Save. Rebound! And doesn't go in. Olsen shot off the side of the net. O'Connell's shooting. Puck never gets on. 25 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Chipped in by Popa. As the Stormhawks will get a change. Rogers dumps it all the way down. 15 seconds left to go on the Stormhawk power play. Reinhardt, a pass to Long. It bounced right back to Reinhardt. Now Reinhardt leaves for Popa. Then Popa with a shot off after the whistle. It's a stern talking to there. 4:17 to go. 2 seconds left on the power play. Stormhawks about to go 0 for 1. Chaska Chanhassen 0 for 1 on the power play. Pass in front off a skate. Bounces up for Rogers, who's just going to touch it ahead as he was kind of going the opposite way. Popa up to Long. He's cut off, but he finds a way through. Long leaves for Olsen, but Olsen now has to wait for Long to get back on sides. Olsen at the wall. Steps around a check. Feeds it across to Reinhardt. Reinhardt one touch to Long, and Long doesn't get a stick on it. Held in by Reinhardt. Picked up by Long. To Jacqueline. Now to Reinhardt. Backhand shot doesn't find its way through, and Rogers with control and will look to break out. Turned over to Jacqueline. His shot blocked before it gets on net. Oh boy, Rogers needs to learn how to break out. They're just going to say, let's ice it. Yikes. Clock is running, which might not be the worst thing in the world. It is only 1-0, but the clock is running. Rogers wins the faceoff. Kurt 0 for 2 on faceoff so far in this game. Here's Hubbard. Hubbard behind the net. Kurt will chase it down. Up to Lund. D-to-D pass. Splits the wickets of Biller. Biller will throw it in front. Tipped in front by Hubbard, and goaltender snags the puck. Gets a whistle. Lots of shots. Not a ton of great, pretty plays to get those shots. It's mostly just Rogers isn't quite as good. Kurt wins this face-off, but he wins it too well, and it gets right by Biller. Now Lund. Through center ice, into Rogers territory. Shot goes wide. Kurt jumping up, leaves for Lund. Lund skating the goal line, comes out, throws it in front, and he scores. Lund gets a goal in his third or fourth straight game. It's his 8th. And I think I said that Kurt had passed on that puck. Did he pass here? Right now, we're just going to give it to Josh Lund. Just the lone goal, the goal. I'm not sure if Kurt passed him that puck. We'll have our statistician watch the replay here shortly. Hubbard will swipe it in and see if the Stormhawks can get a forecheck going. They're going to ring it around. It's going to come all the way out. So Lund, his first game back playing defense in about 2 or 3 games, and he scored in each of his last 2 games playing as a forward. Pass to Kurt from McPhillips. Kurt into the zone, stops, pass across, looking for Hubbard in front. Now a loose puck turned over to Hubbard. Hubbard, his shot right on, rebound, and fanning on it was McPhillips, hops over his stick. Pass looking for a backdoor goal there by Hubbard. Now stopped at the line by Biller. Nice defense of Biller to hold the line. Stormhawks getting a change behind the play. Biller didn't realize that. Now Nelson. Battling with Annis. Nelson will get it to the blue line, gives it to Annis. Annis back and forth. His shot blocker save. And it slides out. Stormhawks have to wait. Brits will skate in. All the way to the slot. Shot goes wide. Under a minute to play. And looks like the net is off. Get a whistle and a face-off. With 45 seconds to play in the first period, Stormhawks lead 2-0. Severson out there with Nelson and Annis. Severson up the wall to Brits. Long shot going wide. Up to Robinson. Robinson down to Annis. Down behind the net to Nelson. His pass off a skate comes down to the near corner. Annis will chop it behind the net, but that's intercepted. And Rogers will not break out. Flipped in by Nelson. Chasing is Severson. Severson gets his stick on it to the far corner with 25 seconds to play in the first. Annis stops it, skating the goal line. He's stick checked. Puck slides to the side of the net. No whistle. totally expected a whistle there. Now Anna's turnaround shot blocked and into the netting. Out of play with 11.8 to go in the first period. Face-off one, back to Robinson. His shot blocked off the end wall, comes right to the side of the net. And there's a whistle. Goaltender stuffs the corner there and not allows, not sure, I think it was Nelson, maybe Annis, maybe Severson trying to find a hole there. 4.3 seconds left in the first period. Flipped out by Rogers. And that'll do it for the first period. Chaska Chanhassen 2, Rogers 0. Goals by Bear Nelson and Josh, or wait, excuse me, what? Not Hayes Long. My statistician has it completely wrong. By Josh Lund. No shots on the board, so we're not going to be able to give you shots. And she is looking for the assist on Josh Lund's goal. I know the first goal was correct. Nelson from Annis. Not sure if Kurt should get the assist on the Lund goal. Rogers still with only 3 players on the bench. That's something you see in like beer league hockey where you're double shifting every other shift, every other time on the ice. Oh, you really feel for this team, but God, I give them a lot of credit. They have really battled here and only be down 2 goals after 1. A lot of shots by the Stormhawks. Not a lot of, well, I'd say pretty good quality, but not a lot of pretty plays. Nice job at Robinson knocking a puck out of midair. Fans on the outlet, then does get it to Brits. Brits across the red line. He's pressured by, I was going to say number 15. There's a drop pass. Shot by O'Connell. Comes to Brits. His shot right on. He scores. Brits gets his 5th of the season off a rebound, I believe, from a shot from O'Connell. So Brits from O'Connell. And it's 3-0. Chaska Chanhassen leads with 14:30 to play in the second period. Brits' shot from a bottom of the right circle just found a hole and squeaked through. Now here is Brits. Gonna feed it back to O'Connell. O'Connell had to turn around for that pass. It was a little behind him. Now glove down at the blue line by Nelson. Olsen. He'll have to regroup. Olsen has it taken away. Comes right to Thomas. Thomas to Brits. To O'Connell. All right, don't pass the puck again. Let's get Charlie Thomas an assist. Still, no, not anymore. Rogers leaves it behind the net. Off the wall, kept in by Brits. He'll throw it all the way down on net. Rebound right in front. Now Robinson jumping up, able to keep it in. O'Connell will flip in, and the Rogers just standing around. Gotta imagine they're already feeling a little bit of fatigue. Up to Reinhardt. Tyler has it taken away. Reinhardt will give to Popa. Popa just pushes it ahead, and Rogers on the attack. Kurt will chop it out and thrown right back in by the Royals. I feel like that was offsides. Good back check by Tyler to break up the rush. Tyler up to Kurt. Kurt skating into the zone. Try to cut across, has his pocket picked. Now Jacqueline. They'll throw it to the front of the Stormhawk bench, but Rogers will gather and throw it all the way down. Now Popa. Past Reinhardt. And Rogers with control again. Pass in front, but off a skate. Hops to Jacqueline, and then Long. Long will skate up the near side. Long at the bottom of the circle. Sharp angle shot right on. Rebound. Jumping in is Jacqueline, and Rogers goaltender will get on the puck and get a whistle with 12:31 to play in the second. Stormhawks lead 3-0. Did you find it?
Yeah, I don't think there was a whistle.
Long gives to Kurt off his skate. Rogers able to get it out to the stick of Reinhardt. Reinhardt will flip in, and Stormhawks will slowly start the forecheck. Dumped out by the Royals. Loose puck goes to Reinhardt. Reinhardt up the near wall, knocked down. Now kicked by Long. He'll skate in. Long on his backhand. Waiting in the corner. Goes to Kurt at the slot. He's pushed. Gives to Reinhardt, then to Popa. Popa, long shot, blocked up high. Now to Kurt. Throws it in behind the net to Jacqueline. Loose puck at the side of the net. Taken away by Long. Now Kurt picking up a loose puck. Skating to the circle. Shot blocked. Bounces over to Reinhardt. Reinhardt just touches it ahead. Now up to Kurt. Slap shot. Pad save. Long on the rebound. That goes wide. Now Reinhardt up to Kurt at the blue line. To Reinhardt. Down to Long. Reinhardt up to Kurt again. Back to Reinhardt. A two-man game here. And this one's taken away from Reinhardt, and Rogers will skate out. Kurt stands his ground there, took the hit, but didn't allow Rogers to go on the attack. Here's Lund. Skating in breakaway. Glove save. Lund on a good change, and the puck that was thrown out by, I believe, a Stormhawk right to Josh Lund. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it was great timing. Lund skated out with it, or skated off the bench and picked up the puck, goes in on a breakaway, but a nice glove save. Lund billing for his second goal of the night. Here's McPhillips, backhand shot right on, rebound, and goalie gets on it. 10:39 to go in the second period. Stormhawks lead 2-0. 3-0. What am I saying? No, 3. One's a goalie. So Chaska Chanhassen has one player of their entire roster out, and it's good they do, because we have too many players on our roster. Meanwhile, Rogers just with 3 subs. Here's Rogers on the attack, defended by Biller, and Biller able to win that battle. Gives to McPhillips. McPhillips will hoist it down to Hubbard, gets by Hubbard into Rogers territory. Kicked down by Severson. Severson up to Hubbard, hops his stick. Now a puck in the bottom of the circle, gathered by Rogers. Stopped there by Biller. Biller will throw it around. Severson chasing now. Severson kicks it behind the net. Chasing is McPhillips. Long outlet pass. And another breakaway for Rogers. Skating in. He shoots it over the net. Bounces off the end wall. Almost came right back out off the back of Thomas. Now Lund gathering a loose puck in his own zone. Skating down the right side. And kind of stick-handled himself out of the puck there. Now turned over to Nelson. Nelson in. His shot right on. Rebound push to the side. Nelson with it. To Annis. Annis pushes it on net. Didn't get much on it. Goaltender gets on the puck and a whistle. Couple whistles by the referee. 9:26 to go in the second. It's 3-0. Chaska Chanhassen with the lead. Face-off 1 to Robinson. Robinson long shot, tipped by Annis and gathered by the Royals. They'll flip it up, but not out, to Olsen. Number 15 in white is pretty funny. He basically just hangs out near the top of the zone looking to go on a breakaway. Doesn't really like to play a lot of defense. Annis bracketed by a trio of Royals, and he's still able to get his stick on the puck. Now up to Britz. Long shot goes wide off the end wall. Nelson in front. That's off a skate. Shot by Olsen goes wide. Olsen will jump on the loose puck. Circling, gives to Britz. Britz, long shot. Stick down. Nelson, if he just turns and shoots without looking, he puts it in an open net. Annis keeps it in down to Olsen. Olsen protecting. Throws it in front. That bounces off a Royal stick. They feed it out past the stick of Britz. Now Robinson getting pressured. He'll just throw it into the neutral zone. Dumped right back in by the Royals. Under 9 minutes to play in the second period. And 3-0 Chaska. Chanhassen with the lead. Annis. Up to Nelson. He's got to chase it down. Nelson around. Gives to Robinson. Long shot. And let's see who gets the goal. They're saying Robinson gets the goal. They're pointing to Robinson, so we're going to say that was Cam Robinson's first of the year. Excuse me, Mitchell Robinson. I've been saying Cam Robinson. Excuse me, it's Cam Biller. Mitchell Robinson gets his first of the year off an assist from Bear Nelson. There might be a second assist there. But Robinson with his first. It got tipped in front, but Stormhawks say it was Rogers. Tyler hauled down. Rebound comes out.
You think Bear maybe got the ball?
Yes, but Bear pointed to Robinson. They're giving it to him. So a penalty coming against Rogers, their second of the game. It was a holding call. The Stormhawks were semi-jokingly calling for a penalty shot as Tyler was hauled down. Kurt wins it across to O'Connell. To Kurt, one-time shot wide. Now Tyler. Up to Popa. Popa will throw it in off the stick of Kurt. Down to O'Connell. O'Connell will skate right out. Wrap around to Tyler. He can't get on a fluttering puck. Now Reinhardt to Tyler. Steps around a check. Gives to Reinhardt. Shot right on. Kurt knocks it down. O'Connell tried to tip it in. And it's picked up by the Royals. Thrown to the near side. Popa jumping up. Loose puck held in by Kurt. Kurt, his shot blocked, goes behind the net. Clearing attempt, knocked down by Tyler, then Popa. Popa gives to Tyler. Tyler steps around a couple checks in front to O'Connell, and he scores! Nice pass by Tyler and a one-timer by O'Connell into the top of the net. And it's a power play goal for the Stormhawks. We have an angry goalie for Rogers. It's 5-0 Chaska Chanhassen. O'Connell with the goal. Tyler and Popa. We'll give Popa the second assist. Might be a gift, but we're going to give it to him. So, should note they're entering the game. There were 2 players without goals. Here's Kurt skating in, shot right on. 2 players without goals on the season. Mitch Robinson, one of them. Here's Rogers coming the other direction. Popa throwing a check, and Rogers player grabbing his leg. I didn't see anything illegal there. So entering the game, 2 players without goals on the year. That was Mitch Robinson and Jack Popa. And based on the way they were acting, Nelson was pointing to Robinson that was his goal. So Rogers player gets up, kind of putting his hand at the upper of his left leg. Referee's talking, see if that should have been a penalty. I didn't see much there. And it appears that not only is Rogers short on players, but I believe one of their coaches is in the penalty box. So Rogers really short. What's amazing is Rogers has one of the top high school programs in the state, but maybe the depth just isn't there after their varsity and JV programs. Or maybe their JV programs just take too many players, leaving nothing for junior gold. Here's Jacqueline all the way in, shot, glove save. Jacqueline looking for his second of the year. There are several, let's see. Jacqueline, Hayes Long, and I believe Otto Reinhardt each have one goal. So Robinson, Cam Biller actually also without a goal, and Jack Popa. 3 defensemen. Here's Jacqueline, knocked down, shot right on, comes out too long. His shot, goaltender a little late getting there, but he gets across and gets a blocker save. Jacqueline with some good physical play to slow up the Rogers rush. Now it's flipped out by the Royals, picked up by Biller. Across to Lund. Behind Thomas. His pass behind Long, dumped in on net, and Thomas was like, oh, that's what the puck feels like. Now Lund loses it for a moment, regains, and he'll skate up. Passes across to Jacqueline. Jacqueline leaves for Severson. Severson drops to Lund. His shot off a leg, bounces right back to Lund. Lund skating the zone, leaves it at the top of the zone. It'll be Jacqueline to skate down. He didn't get much on it, but Long able to keep it in. Now to Severson at the bottom of the circle. Pass in front off the stick of Lund. Jacqueline holds the zone. Good play by Dylan Jacqueline to stop the rush. Long tries to stick handle around. That's taken away. Thrown around the wall. Severson and Long will battle for it. Severson comes out with it, and that's taken away. Now a breakaway coming for Rogers. All the way down. Shot saved by Thomas. Rebound to the bottom of the circle. Shot right on by Thomas. He had to stay square to the puck as he was backing back to the crease. Nice job, Charlie Thomas. Now Long skating up with Lund. Long shift for both of those players. Loose puck comes out to center ice. Olsen gathers a loose puck. He'll skate down. Cuts to the middle. Olsen still with it. His shot hits the side of the net. Bounces into the corner. He feeds it up to Britz. Britz, long shot. And that's the sort of thing that against better teams, you wait on that. You don't shoot right there. You wait until one of your teammates skates to the front of the net to at least take skate by the goalie to take the eyes away instead of just shooting it. Otherwise, goalies at this age are just too good. They're going to see that and make that save. Face off one, back to Britz. And we have a whistle as Rogers didn't have players on the ice. And we could certainly excuse that. So looks like Rogers might be getting one more player back. And they might just be sharing gloves. Face off one to Britz. Britz across to Robinson. Long shot going wide. Rogers with it at the hash mark. A nice breakout pass there. Defended by Annis. Annis forcing Rogers back into their own zone. Royals with it. Pass off the far wall. It'll be gathered by Annis. To Hubbard. One-time shot right on. Kick to Annis. Oh, how'd that not go in? Now Olsen. And number 15 doesn't want to play. Look at number 15 just hanging out outside the zone here. Unbelievable. He does not want to play defense. This is all he wants to do. Robinson stands his ground saying, you're not going to cherry pick when I'm out here. That is, I would call that pretty selfish play by number 15 against a team that's incredibly shorthanded. Sure, he's had some offensive chances, but you got to play defense when you don't have anybody on your squad. Here's Ennis. His shot goes over the net. I think that bounced off the goalie's back and right to the side of the net, maybe. Ennis leaves for Reinhardt. Reinhardt, his pass behind Ennis. And now Britz in his own zone. Britz escapes the forechecker. He will skate up. Britz looking to go coast to coast. Still with it. Around the net. And picked up by Reinhardt. Reinhardt, his pass off a skate and tossed out by the Royals. Nelson will gather it in his own zone with 2:42 to play in the second period. Nelson now drops for Kurt. Shot right on. Save. Reinhardt tried to pass it to Kurt. A little too strong, and it comes out of the zone. Kurt to Popa. Right back to Kurt, but tipped away by the Royals. Popa forcing it ahead to Kurt. Kurt circled away from what thought was going to be a check. Now Ennis, one-time shot from Nelson goes well wide. Up to Popa. Popa around the end wall to Nelson. He'll drop for Reinhardt. Popa falling down, but able to keep it in. Now to Kurt at the top of the circle. Tried to give it back to Popa. Comes out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt will ring it around. It will be Kurt first on it. Down to Ennis. Try to throw it in front, didn't get much on it. Rogers will throw it around the wall. And guess who's hanging out in the neutral ice but number 15 again. Popa. Oh, thrown in front. Kurt with a tip shot. Popa's got number 85's number here. He's hit him a couple times. Kurt skates right out, shot right on. And rebound gathered up. Popa has hit probably the smallest player for the Royals a couple times, and he goes off limping. And the player who had been missing skates to the ice, number 16, the one with the maroon helmet. Skates is being generous because face off one, and O'Connell's backhand shot goes wide. Nice for the Stormhawks to get a goal here in the last whatever. Lund skating in, and no rebound for Severson. Saying it'd be nice for the Stormhawks to get a goal here in the last minute 5. Get that running time for the third period. Just get it started right away. Face-off won by the Royals. They'll skate up. Defended by Biller. Fights through the check of Biller. Shot into the glove of Thomas on a shot going wide. So that player, I think number 85, that was hit twice by Jack Popa. I don't see him on the bench anymore, so he might have said, you know what, I don't need this. Biller around the wall. Under the slot. Chance for the Royals. Backhand shot. Save! And it bounces behind the net. Couldn't tell where that one went. Long shot. They score. Rogers scores a long shot from the point, and it finds a hole, and it's 5-1. Rogers with their first goal. First goal in 4 games. And you can see why their fans celebrate. It's their first goal since February 9th. So it's been 8 days since Rogers has scored a goal, and they just did on Chaska Chanhassen. Olsen taken down, penalty coming. Lund skates up, gives to Long. Leaves for Lund. Lund waits. Stormhawks wanting to get an extra attacker. Lund is going to regroup and taken away. And whistle blows as the Royals take their second penalty of the game. tripping call. I think it was Olsen that went down in his own zone. Stormhawks getting I think they're 0 for 1. They have a shorthanded goal, but I don't believe a power play goal. I could be wrong about that. Olsen leaves for Biller. Biller skates into the slot. Long shot. And Olsen digging away, and now he's getting 3 Royals players shoving him to the wall, including the goalie. We'll see who they take here. Olsen maybe a little aggressive on the... They just sent Olsen. He's out. They're tossing Dylan Olsen from the game. He'll get the game ejection penalty, I think. The way he signaled, he said he's out for the game. So Olsen is out for the game. He gets the ejection penalty, as does number 5, it looks like. So Royals even more shorthanded now. So maybe 5 isn't going. Rogers, goalie, and Thomas playing catch here. So it's just Olsen that got sent off. Rogers did not get sent off. They were shorthanded before the game. And then they have a player out, looks like injured. So McPhillips will serve the penalty, Olsen penalty. And I assume it'll be 4-on-4 for the last 4.5 seconds here. See if they also call the goaltender here. If they did, they'd have to put another player in the box for Rogers, which means they would have only 2 skaters left. So face-off will be in Stormhawk territory, as it's the Stormhawks that took the penalty. So Olsen will get a 2-minute, we'll call it a roughing. So it'll be 4-on-4 for the rest of this period. And about 1:45 of 4-on-4, and then a short power play for Rogers after that. Face-off won by the Royals up to the point. Long shot, blocker save into the corner, and that does it for the second. It's 5-1 Stormhawks after 2. And they will do the Zamboni as Rogers will take the break get some rest. 5-1 after 2 periods. Stormhawks with the lead. We'll be back in a little bit. Stormhawks slowly coming out of the locker room. I think everybody's out. Nope, still more latecomers as they're ready to drop the puck. We still had players coming out of the locker room.
He's been doing a little bit more.
So 5-1 Chaska-Chanhassen with the lead. And we're not going to have running time. It's just a 4-goal differential here. We're going to be 4-on-4 for a minute 44. And we got to sort things out. McPhillips is supposed to be in the box. And now it's going to be, is that Bear Nelson? I don't know what happened to McPhillips. If he has pulled himself out of the game, perhaps? I don't see McPhillips on the bench. I don't see either McPhillips on the bench, but I believe that's who is serving it. So now Stormhawks getting somebody else serving. So 4-on-4 for another minute and a half or so. Lund skating up. His shot blocker save. Glove down by the Royals. Jumping up is Tyler. Tyler kicks it ahead. Pushed into the wall. Comes out to Kurt. Shot save. Rebound to Tyler. Loose puck in front. Flipped up to Biller, who holds the line. Once, but not twice. Royals will throw it all the way down, go for icing. 1 minute left to go on the Rogers penalty. And then it looks like, I think Bear Nelson's serving the penalty now. He'll hop out. And it'll be about a 10-second power play for the Royals. Lund's pass off a stick, and it will slide to neutral ice for Biller. Biller fights through a stick check twice, skates in. Biller, backhand shot, doesn't get on. Tyler pushes it in the corner, chase down the puck. It's being hounded by 3 Royals, and they cycle away. Now Tyler in the corner to Kurt, and his backhand tip goes wide. Kurt up the wall to Biller. Biller, long shot, blocked at the circle. Jumping in is Tyler on the puck. Flips it over to Lund. 2-on-1 with Kurt. Kurt, one times it wide, and he looks to the sky as, how did I miss that? And then he stopped playing. This is going to be a goal on Kurt if this is scored, and they do. 5-2. Kurt stopped playing hockey, and that results in a breakaway for the Royals, and they beat Thomas to the stick side. And if I talk about selfish play from number 15 in the Royals, that was selfish play by number 7 in black. That was extremely selfish. Like that, come on. So 4 seconds left of 4-on-4 play. And now Rogers with an abbreviated power play. Annis to Britz. And it slides to O'Connell. O'Connell skating in with Annis. Pass across to Annis off the tip of his stick. Thrown in front. Now a loose puck to Nelson. His shot blocker save into the corner. Nelson up the wall to Britz. Slap shot, tipped and over the net. Now Nelson has his pocket picked. Flipped up, but not out. Annis across to O'Connell. His shot right on. And the Stormhawks are hitting the Rogers in the goaltender's jersey like a target. So we're 5-on-5 again. It's 5-2. Here's Annis. Shot maybe got on net. Save. Rebound. Comes out to Annis. Save. Bounces high over the net. Up to Britz. Britz, long shot, tipped by Nelson on net. Nelson will throw it to the side of the net and chase down behind the net. He's hauled down, kicks it, tried to kick it across to O'Connell. O'Connell battling behind, still battling. He'll come out with it, slides up the wall. Dumps it into the corner, but to a Rogers defender. O'Connell jumps up, throws a check, now thrown down deep. And they got number 15 and Braden O'Connell battling. And I think the referee will take them both. O'Connell to go for roughing and number 15 for the Royals to go for roughing. I assume that's what we're going to be calling here. We'll be skating 5-on-5. .11:55 to go. Stormhawks lead 5-2. It shouldn't be that. The Stormhawks aren't playing all that well. There's an example of it. Turnover. Rogers in, taken away by Britz. And then he throws the puck away. Now turned over to Severson. He'll skate in. Shot right on. Stormhawks really making this goaltender look good by shooting right at him. Britz picking up a loose puck at center ice, skating in. Drops for Long. Long scores! Long gets his second of the season off an assist by Luke Britz, and it's 6-2. Nice hard shot by Hayes Long. .11:18 to go. It's 6-2 Stormhawks. Britz fans on an outlet attempt and kept in by the Royals. Britz gets to Severson, tried to give it too long, and dumped in by the Royals. Britz will throw it to the near side for Jacqueline. Skate 2-on-2 with Long. Jacqueline cuts across and slides it into the corner and chases. Severson stops it at the hash marks, but Rogers now with control. Let's see if they can break out. They turn it over to Long. Now Popa will get a puck just outside the zone, throw a check for no real reason, but no penalty coming. I don't think the referees saw it. Now a penalty coming against Chaska Chanhassen. They're going to take Popa, which you could have. That's interesting. He got hammered. I think it was a makeup call for not calling the previous hit. So a power play coming for the Royals. So I think he may have given two penalties there. Maybe not. Maybe just the roughing call. So power play for Rogers with 10:19 to go. Thrown all the way down on net. Rogers goalie gets it out. On the attack. Loose puck to Tyler. Gives to Kurt. He'll skate up. Short-handed. Shot right on. Rebound picked up by the Royals. Tipped by Kurt to a Royals attacker. Now a loose puck in the slot and turned over to the Stormhawks. Thrown around the wall but into the netting, and we'll do a face-off to the left of Thomas. 1:20 to go on the power play for the Royals. At first, penalty expires, so both players from either team hop out. So now it's just Popa in the box. Popa with his 36 penalty minutes now, ranked second on the team to Bear Nelson's 44. Annis reaching, can't win the puck. Annis trying again, and it's kept in by the Royals into the corner. Sharp angle shot, glove saved by Thomas. As the clock continues to run for some reason. Now it stops. So Royals still with only 3 players on the bench. The one player who went off, they were going to have 4, but the one player got hit twice by Popa, has decided he's had enough. Stick save by Thomas. Gathering now is Hubbard, who throws it out. Rogers will regroup. Turned over to Lund. Lund will skate up shorthanded down the left side, cuts to the middle. Lund with it, shot right on, and maybe went wide. Now throwing in front, past Annis. Britt's jumping up now. Britt's up the wall to Lund, bouncing puck. Lund protecting, getting hacked at, but still with the puck. Through several stick check, penalty coming against the Royals. Slap shot by Annis into the glove of the Royals goaltender, and that will negate the Royals power play. Stormhawks will have 1:44 of power play time, as number 15 will get his second of the night. He gets one more, he's done. .834 left to go in the third. 6-2 Stormhawks with the lead. Forced out by the Royals to Britz. Britz escapes one forechecker, gives it across to Nelson, hops his stick, and the Royals with it. Now a loose puck to the near side. It'll be O'Connell first on it. O'Connell steps around to hip check. O'Connell to Nelson, and he should have one-timed it, but he now throws it in front. Fanned on it was Nelson, thrown all the way down. Stormhawk power play now. Lund in his own zone to Annis. Annis into the Stormhawk zone, drops for O'Connell, drops for Lund, hits the pipe, bounces out to Britz. He had a lot of net there, and he just hit everything, hit the metal, not the net. Now Nelson in front to Annis, his shot right on, and save. As we're just about halfway through the third period. .735 to go. Face-off won by the Royals. See if they can get it out. They cannot. It's going to come up to Biller. Biller will throw it behind the net. Intercepted now by Long in the corner. Royals with it again. Looking to break out on the kill. Biller. His shot off a leg. Going to bounce all the way up to Severson. Down to Long. Long shot blocked in the slot. Jacqueline holding for a moment, but it slides out. Severson will skate in. Into the slot on his backhand. Sharp angle shot, rebound for Jacqueline, but the goalie gets his mid on it. 17 seconds left to go on the man advantage for the Stormhawks. Face-off one, shot by Long, goes wide. Up to Biller. Biller skating from the blue line all the way in, shot right on, comes out to Robinson. His shot goes wide, Long hits the side of the net. Goaltender thought it was in, I think. Now to Robinson, down to Long. The power play expires, long pass, and guess who on the breakaway? Shot saved by Thomas. He dove. He dove. That was the biggest dive ever. So Robinson's going to get a penalty, but 15 should get an embellishment. I mean, that was a dive if I've ever seen one. Whoa. Slap shot off the crossbar by number 15. Turns it over to Hubbard. Hubbard will chase down the puck. Rogers with control behind the net, bothered by Hubbard. Up the wall to Tyler. 15 fans on a check and checks himself into the wall. This game could get out of hand here. You got to keep an eye out for number 15. He's going to do something not appropriate in the waiting moments of this game. You can just kind of feel it. Stormhawks, especially the seniors, need to be careful not to get involved in anything that's going to keep them out of a Thursday night, senior night. Kick save by Thomas and thrown all the way down by Tyler. Now turned over to Reinhardt. Now to Tyler skating in. To Hubbard! And big save. And then he scores. He got on the rebound and Hubbard scores. Big save by the netminder. And then Hubbard crashes the net, finds his own rebound, and knocks it in the open net. And Hubbard gets his third of the season. That's 7-2 Stormhawks. Shorthanded goal by Jackson Hubbard. I don't know if there should be an assist. What? Okay, we'll see. We'll have to watch. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Okay. Rogers into the zone. Chipped away by Kurt. Now Reinhardt in the corner. Shot right on. Saved by Thomas. Reinhardt battling. Chipped up to the blue line. Held. Blocked in front. Gathered by the Royals. Now up to the point. Tipped ahead by Nelson. And he'll chase into the Rogers zone as 25 seconds ago on the man advantage for the Royals. Knocked in by Kurt. It'll be Nelson first on it. Hops off his stick. He'll chase it down again. Tried to throw it in front. Still battling for it is Nelson along with 4 Royals. Not down all the way down the ice, but off the stick of Nelson, and so no icing. Now Lund. Gets by Nelson. Stormhawks then changing. Biller picking up. Skating up. Has his pocket picked. Royals turn it over. Now it'll be Lund with it with under 4 minutes to play. Lund gives to O'Connell. Long pass. Kurt can't get a stick on it. Rogers with it. Kurt knocks it down. Throws it in front. And he's smarting after knocking that puck down. Drop pass gets by everybody. Rogers now at their blue line. Knocked away. It's O'Connell skating in. Gives to Annis. His shot, he scores. And the Royals, number 50, breaks the stick. So that's an expensive goal there. Annis from O'Connell, and it's 7-2. Make that 8-2. 8-2 with 3:04. Clock should just run now. If there are other assists here, I can't pay attention to these type of games, so apologies if I'm not getting the assists right. Long off a pass from Britz. Long, his shot right on. Chasing, now it's Annis. Fans on the rebound attempt. Picking up his Long. Shot, save, rebound, bounces now out to the point. Flipped up but not out. Now it is out. Robinson leaves it at the blue line. Annis will skate in. Shot save. Annis throws to Severson. Save. And a little pushing and shoving a little bit after the whistle. Nothing too big of a deal there. And we'll be under 2 minutes to play when the puck is dropped again, most likely. A 6-goal lead as the clock now runs. Face off 1-2 Annis is shot right on and rebound gathered. It'll be close to a minute and a half or so when this puck gets dropped. Face off 1-2 long up to Britz. Britz, no pressure at all. Skates all the way to the dot and gets a shot off. It goes wide. Now Annis across into the slot. Too long. His shot save. He'll pick up his own rebound. Long circling the zone. Still with it. Leaves for Severson. Back too long. His shot goes wide and the net is off. And this might almost do it for the game. It'll be under a minute once we drop the face-off. Drop the puck for the face-off. What? 43 seconds to play. Hubbard. Let's say Royals win that face-off. Now Tyler. Tyler into the zone. 28 seconds to play. Tyler behind the net. Tries to throw it in front. Regains control. Gives to Reinhardt. Back to Tyler. To Reinhardt. And he loses it. And Reinhardt back checks. Throws a check. Now Popa throwing a check. Penalty coming to Popa. As the clock is going to run out. Popa's going to get his third of the night. And the Stormhawks win 8-2. We'll see you Thursday night, senior night against Elk River. Hopefully the Stormhawks got their fair play point there, but 8-2 the final. That does it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Thursday.